Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here, and I'm reading today from Micah chapter 6, verse 8. He has told you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. We are in a new worship series called the Sanctified Life, and to be sanctified means to be made holy. It is the work that God's grace, brought to us by the Holy Spirit, does in us in this transformative way. Now, God's grace does all sorts of transformation in us, but ultimately, the ultimate transformation is that God makes us holy, sanctified, set apart as the people of God. Doesn't mean we're better than others or set above others. We're just set apart as holy, as people who are living in to the covenant that God makes with us. The covenant, all the covenants, but especially the covenant of our baptism, the covenant that says we are God's children, are God's beloved children, and we will follow Jesus where Jesus leads, and our lives will look a certain way. Not all the same, not like cookie cutters, and it's not something we can do just by making sure we do XYZ every day, but because of the Holy Spirit and the grace that the Holy Spirit brings us, we are being transformed. We are being made holy, and our biggest job in all this is to let God do God's work, to let that grace in, to respond to it, to say yes to it, and to let it in, to let it do its thing. But through these next few weeks, we're going to be talking about sanctification and what that means to be sanctified. We're also going to do that through the lens of this passage from Micah 6:8, which I bet is familiar to you. What does the Lord require of you but to do justice, to love kindness, and walk humbly with our God? So we're going to start this week. We had this wonderful, joyous celebration of Pentecost this past Sunday. We baptized people. We confirmed someone. We brought new members into the church, and some previous members too, some people who've been around for a long time as well. And so we had this beautiful celebration of the Holy Spirit, and we're going to continue that over these next few weeks. We also, if you were in church this past Sunday in person, we handed out these Holy Spirit mantles, and we're going to keep using these throughout our these next few weeks. And so if you have one that you brought home, bring it back, because we're going to use it again. You don't have to turn it in to anybody. You're going to keep using your own. And if you left yours at worship on this past Sunday, then you're going to get another one back, and we're going to keep using them in worship. And if you weren't there, or if you're worshiping online, remotely, if you weren't there and you're coming this next time, whenever you come, you'll get one. And if you're worshiping remotely, please let us know if you would like us to send you one, or if you would like to stop by the office and get one. We're happy to send that to you. And you can also make your own. It's just a piece of a reddish cloth. We have a whole bunch of different patterns of cloth that we use. So any kind of cloth will be just fine. It doesn't even have to be red. We're doing it just because that's the color of Pentecost, the color of the Holy Spirit. So we're going to keep talking about these beautiful things, and I hope you'll come and join us. If you did take your mantle home with you, I hope that you will put it on occasionally and remember some of what we said when we put these on each other this past Sunday. We affirmed some of what the Holy Spirit says in us at our baptism. Samuel says that there's a song that's sung in our baptism, and it goes something like this: the heavens are open to you. God's heaven is open to you. God's Spirit is within you. You are God's beloved child, and you mean everything to God. So I hope that you will put that on. I hope that you will say that again to yourself, allowing it to be a part of that grace that comes into us, that we say yes to, respond to let it keep sinking in, and let the Holy Spirit deliver that message to our hearts, singing that song within us, and also helping us sing it to one another. Heaven is open to you. God's Spirit is within you. You are God's beloved child, and you mean everything to God. that is kind of the seed, the root of our sanctification. And so as you continue to say that, hear those words, that song sung in your baptism, may you continue to let the Holy Spirit in and consider what it is to you to be sanctified. What does that word mean? How does it resonate? How does it speak to something in your body, mind, heart, or soul? What scriptures does it bring up for you? And invite it to be part of your meditation these days. I want to also share with you a couple things that have happened and are coming up. So one thing that you'll find here in this email is a note about the Kingston and Princeton partnership. It is coming to a close here in the next month or so, and we have in this happening some information about that. So please check that out, and we have some FAQs here that you, I'm sure, will want to read. If you have other questions about it, please let us know. We want to answer your questions. We want to share all the things we know, and you can be sure to ask. We also some of us have spent the first part of this week at the Greater New Jersey Annual Conference. Now, the Greater New Jersey is our conference, and that is a geographical location. It's all of New Jersey. So the whole state of New Jersey, every United Methodist Church in New Jersey is part of the Greater New Jersey Annual Conference, plus a few in Pennsylvania and a few in New York, which makes us the Greater New Jersey Annual Conference. But there's also an event. So every year, the people of the Greater New Jersey Conference gather for our annual conference meeting, and it is particularly made up of all the clergy. So from Princeton UMC, it's me and Pastor Taylor and Pastor Skitch for now. Pastor Skitch is about to move, but for now he's still part of our congregation. And then an equal number of lay people. So that means we had Iona Harding, Isabella Dugan, and Ed Sproles came on our behalf. But we also have more clergy from our church. We have Susan Victor, who is a deacon, who is connected to our church too. Her husband Vasanth is part of the annual conference as a layperson. He has been leading the conference Council on Finance and Administration for the past several years. He was there, but we also had some visitors and other people come along. We had Catherine Williams and Jenny Seatuck were there with us. We all celebrated Pastor Taylor's commissioning. Lots of good, beautiful, exciting things happened there. So you'll be hearing more about that from these people, some of the people we've named, and probably more I haven't named. And we also we'll be sharing in this email some of the highlights that the conference provided for us. So there's a highlights video that's really beautiful, and you can keep looking out for some people in that video. And then there's also a web page that we'll point you to that gives you more details about the happenings and the goings on that happened at annual conference itself. So among another one of those things, in addition to Taylor being commissioned, Pastor Skitch it was named that he was now being appointed. So take a look at all of that and enjoy. If you have questions, ask. You can ask me. You can ask any of the people that I just named as well. So friends, one more thing. Remember that Pastor Skitch's going away celebration is happening on June 2nd. If you haven't registered for that or RSVP'd for that, please do. And there's an opportunity there not only to say you're coming, but also to contribute toward lunch and to contribute to a going away gift for him as well. Friends, it is a joy to be with you. It is a joy to be appointed yet another year with you here at Princeton UMC. I'm beginning my 7th year in July, and I'm delighted to be on this journey with you. It is a great joy to me. Remember that you are enough because God is enough. Remember that you are created for joy. And I give thanks for you and our journey together. Talk to you soon. See you soon. Blessings.